Welcome to another session of personal finance training. Today we'll be looking at the highest paying jobs in 2020. This is presented by Accounting Lecturer. Our aim is to get a better understanding of how to improve personal finance with the best jobs in 2020. Our objectives are to list the best jobs in 2020, how to manage disposable income, how to manage expenses, prepare for the future with your disposable income, and then we're going to conclude. Now let's have a look at the list of the best jobs to get in 2020. In the number one spot we will have the anesthesiologist with 411,000 in the US and 192,000 in the UK. In the number two position, we would have the surgeon with 496,000 in the US and 120,000 in the UK. Physician is 227,000 in the US and 103 in the UK. Orthodontist, 304 in the US, 291 in the UK. Dentist with 213 in the US, 98,000 in the UK. CEO with 310 in the US, 176 in the UK. Engineer manager, 149,000 in the US, 89,000 in the UK. IT manager, 127,000 in the US, 55,000 in the UK. Corporate lawyer, 240,000 in the US, 101,000 in the UK. Marketing manager, 99,000 in the US and 50,000 in the UK. Air traffic controller, 149,000 in the US, 106,000 in the UK. Pilot with 240,000 in the US and 116,000 in the UK. Pharmacist with 135,000 in the US and 46,000 in the UK. And then we have petroleum engineer with 171,000 in the US and 91,000 in the UK. And senior data scientist with 160,000 in the US and 81,000 in the UK. Now let's drill into the data a little bit more carefully. We can see that the top 5 positions are in science, specifically health sciences, with anesthesiologist being the number one, surgeon, physician, orthodontist, and dentist. But we also have the pharmacist. So the top 5 plus the 13th position is in the sciences. So we can say a third of the top 15 is in the sciences, and that gives us a very key bit of information that the health sciences, especially doctor, top end of the medical profession, is driving the high salaries. And then we move on to IT, engineer and IT system manager, and senior data analyst. That's in the number 2 position. And then we have business, which is marketing and the CEO, and then we might have finance also, somewhere thereabouts. Then we would have air traffic controller, so flying pilots, etc. And then we would have the areas like engineer, gas engineer, etc. So that would be the order in terms of the prospects for 2020. Now let's have a look at the fact, if one were to put aside 15% of one's income, what would it look like? Now in the US, 15% would be about 61,000 for the anesthesiologist, 74,000 for the surgeon, physician would be 34, orthodontist 45, dentist 31, CEO 46, 22 for the engineer, IT systems manager 19, 36 for the lawyer, marketing would be 14, air traffic controller would be 22, 36 for the pilot, 20 for the pharmacist, 25 for the petroleum engineer, and the senior data scientist would be about 24,000. But in the UK, it's 38,000 for the anesthesiologist, 24 for the surgeon, 20 for the physician, 58. So the orthodontist, 58,200 would be the best. And in the UK, we would have a little bit more of a higher disposable. And disposable here, we're looking at that which you, after you've paid all your bills, not necessarily taxes only, but all the bills, monthly outgoing, car payment, mortgages, etc., all the insurance and all of that. And what you have to do as you please after you've paid all your bills is what we're focusing on. So in terms of the dentist will be about 19, CEO 35 in the UK, 17 for the IT manager, and so in the engineer manager will be 17,800, and then the IT system manager will be about 11,000. There's about 20,000, 10,000, 21,000, 23,000, 9,000, 18,000, 16,000. So the lowest I would say is around about the 9,200 by the pharmacist. Yeah. So and and the highest would be 58,200 by the orthodontist. And in the US is about 74,000 by the surgeon, and the lowest I would say would be the 14,800 by the marketing manager. Now let's say if we were to control expenses and increase the amount of the disposable to about 20% in the US and 25% in the UK, it would be about 82,250 for the anesthesiologist, 99,200 for the surgeon. The physician would be about 45,000, 60,000 for the orthodontist, 42,600 for the dentist, and CEO will be about 62,000. Then you have 29,000, 25, 48, 19, 29, 48, 27, 34, and 32. But so that would be the US side of it. Let's look at the UK. We would have about 48 for the anesthesiologist, 30 for the surgeon, 25 for the physician. Orthodontist would be 72,000. So again, the orthodontist seems to be the one that is getting the highest in the UK, and the dentist would be 24. CEO would be 44. So CEO is in the top end as well. And then we have 22, 13, 25, 12, 26, 29, 11, 22, and 20. So those are the positions. I would say the highest would be the anesthesiologist. No, the highest would be the orthodontist with 72. Next, anesthesiologist, and then the CEO. The lowest would be the pharmacist with 11,500 in the UK. But let's say they were to save this amount of money for 5 years consistently. What would the outcome be? In the US, it would be 411,000 for the anesthesiologist with 411,250 after 5 years. And the surgeon would be 496,000 after 5 years. Physician would be 227,000. Orthodontist would be about 304,400. Dentist would be 213,000, 310,000 for the CEO, 149,000, 127, 240, 99, 149 for the air traffic controller, 240, 135, 171, 160. So that would be the US side of it. The UK will be 240 for the anesthesiologist. The surgeon will be 150. 128 for the physician. Orthodontist would be 363,750. 122, 500 for the dentist. 220,000 for the business personnel. 111,250 and 68,750 for the IT manager. The corporate lawyer would be 126,000 and 62,500 for the marketing manager. 132 for the air traffic controller. 145 for the pilot. 57, 113, and 101 for the data scientist. So the top I would say would be the orthodontist with 363,000, and then the anesthesiologist, and then the CEO would be in the top three. And the bottom would be the marketing manager with 62,500. The pharmacist and then the marketing manager, so would be on the lower end of what the disposable. And again, I said before, this is after you've paid all your bills and what you have left over. If you were to put that away for 5 years, this would be the result. Now, what can we conclude? We can conclude by looking at the data that if one wants to be in the top end of highest salary in 2020, the sciences, specifically health sciences, and specifically the medical field, the doctor, areas of that medical field would be the highest earning. You could get the highest. Then we have IT, and then we have business, and then we have being a pilot. So those are the top If you were to put aside a portion of your income every year for 5 years, the top end would be good for the CEO and the anesthesiologist and the orthodontist, nearly $500,000. The lower end would be more of the 50,000-60,000 by the pharmacist and the marketing personnel. This could be slightly different based on other factors, but for the most part it gives us an idea of what the situation looks like. Our objective is to use this information to kind of plan and to ensure that we try to increase our disposable so we can earn as much as we can. Like, share, subscribe. Thank you.